something in it. Beautiful. Yes, I'm sorry. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. We invite everybody to take their seats. And we'll begin in our prayer book on page 12. Page 22. We'll continue on page 24, 3 lines from the bottom of the page.
Ya אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 אז ירננו כל עצי יער 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 אז ירננו כל עצי יער 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 איי
It's almost as if the trees are breaking into song.
I feel that.
Feel it. Page 26. We'll go to the bottom of the page. This is Psalm 97. Page 26.
Or zaru alat sadi ule ishrei lev simcha or zaru alat sadi ule ishrei lev simcha yedira 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 ay 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 da 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 irira 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 ay ay da 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 or zaru ala sati ule israel simha or zaru ala sati ule israel
Page 28, middle of the page.
Damaru laronai bechinor bechinor bekol zimra Damaru laronai bechinor bechinor bekol zimra Zamaru l'Adonai bechinor bechinor bekol zimra Zamaru l'Adonai Zamru l'Adonai Bechino 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 Bechol Zimra Zamru l'Adonai Bechino 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 Bechino
30, bottom of the page.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu behar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu behar kodsho. Oh, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu.
Page 34.
Yalai, 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 ah-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra, yalai, 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 mizmor leDavid, Havul Adonai v'nei Elim, Havul Adonai, Kavod va'oz, ay, 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 Havul Adonai, Kevod Shmo Yisach, Havul Adonai, Adrat Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Al Hamayim, El HaKavod, Kiri Adonai, Almaim Rabim, Kol Adonai, Bakoach, ay, 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 Kol Adonai, Behadar, Kol Adonai, Shover Arazim, Vaishaber Adonai, et arzei halevanon, vayargitei moegel levanon, ve'Sion kemo ve'in re'emim, ay, 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 kol Adonai, hotzev la'avotesh, kol Adonai, achil mibar, achil Adonai, midbar kadesh, kol Adonai, echol elai alot, vayechesod, yaron, ubheichalot, ulomer kavod, Adonai, lama bul yashar yeshiv, Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech damo v'shalom. Ay, 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 ay,
Good Shabbos.
It's here.
We pause now as we remember with reverence the yardsides of our beloved departed, which are observed until sundown tonight, the 11th day of Kislev. Daniel Kaplan, Goldie Anoff, Amelia Barth, Julius Buxbaum, Alvin Exler, Arlene Fisher, Rosa Garson, Beverly Gary, Robert Gottlieb, Margot Jonoff, Stephen Karpa, Yetta Kelman, Bernice Koppel, Louis Lifkovitz, Lion Miller, Pearl Marcus Offit, Marvin Rumbro, Isidore Harry Sachs, Marilyn Sander, and Susan Joan Shaw. Zecher Tzadik Libracha, may the righteous memories continue to bring blessings into all of our lives, and to that we say amen. And in solemn testimony to the unbroken chain of faith which links us from one generation to the next, we invite those who are in mourning and those who are observing a yard site tonight to please rise as you are able as we recite the Mourner's Kaddish on page 124. Page 124, Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal ve'yikadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'isman kavriv ve'emru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach ve'alam amei almaya. Yiparach ve'yishtabach ve'yipa'ar ve'yitramam ve'yitnaseh ve'yithadar ve'yitaleh ve'yithalal shmei dekucha brichu le'ela min kol birchata ve'shirata tushbechata ve'nechemata da'amiran be'alma ve'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. We turn back in our prayer book to page 38 for Lecha Dodi, welcoming in the bride of Shabbat.
B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad ishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem ol tiveret v'litila ol echad dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela ol echad dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesuha zov maaseh v'machshava techila orecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela ol echad dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir belucha kumitzei mitoch ha'hafecha rav lach shevet v'mekabacha Allah, B'nai Shabbat Nekabela, Olecha Dori Likar Kala, B'nai Shabbat Nekabela. Itna'ari me'afar kumi livshi bigdei tifar techami aliyad ben ishai beit halachni korvael nafshi ge'ala olecha dodi likrat Allah Shabbat nekabla olecha dodi likrat kala b'nai Shabbat nekabla. Boi v'shalom atar bala gam b'simcha uv'tzola toch emunei am segula boi chala olecha dodi likrat kala b'nai Shabbat nekabela olecha dodi likrat kala b'nai Shabbat nekabela b'nai Shabbat nekabela.
We remain standing, and we pause now to extend condolences to members of our community who have been bereaved during the past week. This week, we extend our condolences to the family of the late Irene Renee Hyman and to the family of the late Myra Shaftel. And on the bottom of page 41, we join together with the traditional Friday evening greeting for those in mourning. Hamakom yanachem etchem betov sha'ar abalei Zion beYerushalayim. May the Holy One who comforts Israel grant you solace in your bereavement. We turn to page 50 and we remain standing for Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Adonai HaMevorach le'olam. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam avad.
You may be seated. On page 51, we invite up our special readers to lead us in responsive English prayer.
Are you guys having your bar mitzvah tomorrow?
We are here. Actually, it's Briss. Praised are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings on the dusk of evening.
Your wisdom opens the gates of dawn. Your understanding regulates time and seasons.
The stars above follow their appointed rounds in response to your divine will.
Day and night, you alternate darkness and light.
You remove the day and bring on the night. You separate one from the other.
We call you Lord of heavenly hosts. You are our living God.
May you rule over us as you rule over nature. Praise are you, O Lord, who brings the evening dusk.
Amen.
Don't forget.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים.
52.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, למדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נחיה יומם בלילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני,
בשמו.
אוהב עמו ישראל.
54.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Page 56.
יא, תשמעו.
And reading together in English in the middle of page 57. Therefore, keep these words of mine in your heart and in your soul. Bind them as a sign upon your arm, and let them be a reminder above your eyes. Teach them to your children, speaking of them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down at night and when you rise up in the morning. Write them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. Thus your days and the days of your children will be multiplied on the land which the Lord promised to your ancestors, for as long as the heavens remain over the earth. Page 58.
ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
I want to invite up Sonia. Will be leading us in a special song with Cantor Blatt. And then we'll turn to page 60 right after.
You might find some of the words from page 60 in this song. It'll catch you.
Soldiers march like centipedes. It's 110 degrees. Is it written? Take 100 for every
Stolen one,
city to round.
hours in one place.
Now they ask me not to come, but I had to feel your grace.
Now I'm here in Ramadan.
You see the bombing
On
on
TV,
TV. Massacre the world agrees. But this land
I'm standing on. Who's right, who's wrong? Say fellow, say something, even how long?
I go through the passport ritual. Yes, I'm leaving. It's habitual. Buckle up for safety's sake. The bombs are falling. I'm eating frozen ice cream cake. And yes,
I think your God likes me, and my God likes you too. You go up on me, I'll go up on you.
say fellow, say something.
Even hello.
Sonia, page 60.
ומלכותו ברצון גבלו עליהם, מושב לישראל, לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם, יאי לי יאי לי לה 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 יאי לי יאי לה 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 יאי לה 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 יאי לה 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 מי כמוך ואלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה נורא תהילות אוסף אלה מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה זה אלינו ואמרו זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פנה אדוני יעקב וגאלו ביד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני
B'Shema.
גאל ישראל.
And on page 63, we invite up our special readers to lead us in prayer.
Help us, O God, to lie down in peace, but teach us that peace means more than quiet.
Remind us that we are to be at peace at night, when we must take heed how we live by day.
Grant us the peace that comes from honest dealing, so that no fear of discovery will haunt our sleep.
Rid us of resentments and hatreds which rob us of the peace we crave.
Liberate us from enslaving habits which disturb us and give us no rest.
May we inflict no pain, bring no shame, and seek no profit from another's loss.
May we so live that we can face the world with serenity and with grace.
May we feel no remorse at night for what we have done during the day.
May we lie down in peace tonight and awaken tomorrow to a richer and fuller life.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.
ושמור צאתנו עינו לחיים ולשלום, מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, הפורש סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
64.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
66.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, והלמד יברך ירותי, והמליך מלכותי. וחייכון ויום ומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם לעולם ועד יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה, ויאמרו אמן.
We rise together for the Shabbat evening Amidah, which begins on page 69 and is recited personally. page 74.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'al kol yoshvei Teva. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim le'olam. Ki ata melech hador v'chol hashalom. Ki ata melech hador v'chol hashalom. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. B'tov beinecha levaret et amecha Yisrael. B'chol eid ub'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam.
We turn to page 80. You may be seated.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבר מכל מלאכתו כי בו שבר מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו אלוהי אברהם אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב אלוהי שרה אלוהי רבקה אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון כל נשמיים וארץ מגן אבות בדברו וחיי פליטים במאמרו האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו כי לא רצה להניח להם כי פעם רצה להניח להם לבניו נעבור בבירה וחחת ונוטה לשמור בכל יום תמיד ואין הברכות האור אדון השלום מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי ומניח בקדושה לעמי קדוש לעונג זכר למעשה ונעשה יתקרא ויתקרא שמי רבה. ועל אמר יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך ועלה מולל מעמיה. יתברך וישבח יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתזר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. תתקבע צלותון ובטון לכל יזרח אותם ובהון דבשמיא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיא וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו
We turn together now to page 90 and rise for the Friday evening Kiddush, which will be chanted by Helene. If you're joining us at home, please rise also and pour glass. Page 90.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam parei pari hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadesha b'yahava uvratzon hinchi lanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikroei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'chalta v'yotanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kadshecha v'yahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Bottoms up, l'chaim. How is it?
Good.
Good Shabbos. You may be seated. I invite up Rabbi Schwartz to share some Torah.
That is vintage Manischewitz in there. It could be like 3 months old, possibly. Aged to perfection, exactly. I'd like to share with you, folks often ask me, where do sermons come from? How do they get constructed, and what's sort of the internet? Yes, that's the newer generation of rabbis, ChatGPT. So I'd just like to sort of walk you through where a sermon might come from, right? So the first thing, obviously, you want to do is probably refer to something from the Torah portion. Luckily, right now, we're in the book of Genesis, so every parsha has at least one good narrative, and most cases, multiple good narratives. So for this week's parsha, I'd like to do the story about Jacob after he's gone to live in Laban's house. And you remember that, you'll help me fill it in. You remember Laban has 2 daughters. What are their names? Leah and Rachel. And who's older? Leah's older, okay? But Jacob falls in love with Rachel, the younger daughter. And then you remember there's a wedding ceremony, and the woman that Jacob marries walks down the aisle, so to speak, with a must be a heavy veil on. And what happens? He ends up marrying Leah when he wanted to marry Rachel, and then you remember he has to work for the extra years. Okay, fine. So it's a fast. So you're thinking, okay, what are you going to make a sermon about? And it's helpful to sort of find one good catchphrase in there to hang a hook on, if you know what I mean. So there's a wonderful verse in there where Jacob goes to Laban after this whole thing happens, and he says, "What did you do? I wanted to marry Rachel, and it was Leah." And Laban looks at him and he says, "Lo ye'asechein bimkomenu." says, we don't do it here to put the younger in front of the older. Why is that such a great verse? Because that's exactly what Jacob did. He put himself as the younger over the older, right? So that has the resonance of that, harking back. It's never explicitly said, but imagine how Jacob receives those words. That stings, right? Okay, so hold on. So now maybe, lo yasachen bim kolmenu, like we don't do it that way here. In other words, what it's saying is this is payback to you, right? What you did is coming back to you. Now, okay, so you could maybe make a sermon on that, but it'd be nice to have a good kind of English catchphrase that people are familiar with, and I think there is for that. What would that catchphrase be? What goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. Now that you can make a sermon out of. But it's nice to have a little twist. It's nice to have a twist. So usually when you think of what goes around comes around, you think negatively, right? You think negatively. But the truth is, it can be positive as well. What goes around comes around can also work positively and say, okay, if you want to do that sermonically, it'd be nice to have a kind of a good Hebrew phrase that's familiar in the tradition to kind of work with that. And in fact, there is one. Rabbi Zaslow knows what it is. Cantor Blatt knows what it is, which is mitzvah goreret mitzvah, avera goreret avera. So what that means is, this is actually a song that Cantor Blatt probably has sung at Camp Zeke off and on, mitzvah goreret mitzvah, right? So mitzvah goreret mitzvah means one good thing follows another. You do one mitzvah, goreret mitzvah. One good deed follows another. And avera goreret avera. One bad thing follows another. So Jacob, it was the bad thing following that. He did something bad happened to him. But the opposite can be true, right? One good deed follows another. One good deed follows. You do one good thing, something good might happen to you as well. Okay, so now you're kind of working your way into this sermon, and it's nice to, have a point at the end. You say to people, well, with that in mind, what might you do? So what could you do to kind of put yourself in that train where one good thing happens after another good thing happens after another? And it'd be a nice little kind of trick to refer back to the Parsha, because there's an image at the beginning of the Parsha which lends itself very well to this whole idea, which is the image of Jacob's ladder, right? It's right in the beginning of the Parsha, and that idea of being on a ladder. Some of you have been on a ladder, a Jewish ladder. No, I mean it. I mean like a Jewish ladder. Hey, I used to be a house painter, so don't tell me about it. That's true, actually. That's another sermon. But to be on a, what does it mean to be on a Jewish ladder? And many of you are on Jewish ladders. And what you're doing is you're kind of taking one step after another step after another step, and you're working your way up. And it's mitzvah goreret mitzvah, right? It's one thing after another and another good thing and another good thing. And then it's nice at the end of a sermon to have some kind of practical application. Like, okay, take this and go out and do this, right? And Rabbi Zaslow, so we have, you may or... Yeah. So you may or may not know, I hope you do, that the conservative movement, Bethel's a conservative synagogue, the conservative movement is having its biannual convening. They don't call it a convention, they call it a convening here in Baltimore, December 1st to December 5th. So there are Jews from conservative congregations all over the country coming to participate in classes and to get together and to talk about a million different things that have an impact on conservative Jewish life in general and Jewish life around the country and around the world also. So it's an open convening. So if you have an interest in maybe going up another step of the ladder, it's another mitzvah, you think of it like that, this is open to you. It's a wonderful opportunity. There will be people from all over the country. Some of the great thinkers in the conservative movement will be here presenting, talking. It's a learning opportunity, and it's an opportunity to feel good about who you are Jewishly, that you're connected to a conservative congregation, and to get a sense that there's a whole movement out there, the conservative movement. It's a worldwide movement, and we're part of that. We're part of that as well. So we have the flyers here for you tonight. There are 2 of them. There are a bunch of them. They'll be up here, and I would encourage you as services wind down, come on up. Oh, we also have some in the lobby as well.
And
So,
they'll be out tomorrow also.
I'll be out tomorrow as well.
I printed like 150 of them. I designed the flyers too, just asking.
Yes,
Multi-
yes, beautiful flyer, beautiful flyer.
We'll all be there. We'll be Cantor Blab will be leading services. I'll be attending the convention. We would love for as many Bethel members, congregants to be there as possible.
So mitzvah goreret mitzvah, and let's climb the ladder together. Shabbat shalom.
We turn in our prayer books to page 118. Invite everybody to rise for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינת זו בגובהי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס הולדתו כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת עינו על כן גבלך אדוני ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Pausing now, we remember with reverence the yard sites of our beloved departed, which are observed sundown this evening until sundown tomorrow, the 12th day of Kislev. Goldie Bieber, Nanny Bernstein, James Blum, Regina Bond, Edith Kaplan, Neil Daffner, Heidi Dykman, Simon Eldovitz, Stephen Engelman, Paul Engelman, Gertrude Fader, Solomon Goldberg, Emmanuel Hurwitz, Gerald Irons, Arthur Janofsky, Bernice Manstaff, Horant Margolis, Harvey Milheiser, Saul Offit, Bernard Posner, Faye Rosenfeld, Hannah Rosoff, Phyllis Rubin, Bernard Satsky, Beryl Stein, and Florence Wallner. Zecher Tzadik Libracha, may their righteous memories continue to bring blessings into all of our lives, and to that we say amen. In solemn testimony to the unbroken chain of faith that links us ledor vador from one generation to the next, we invite those who are in a period of mourning and those who are observing a yard site to please rise for the Mourner's Kaddish. Mourner's Kaddish, page 124. Page 124. Yitgadal ve'yikadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divra chirute ve'amlich malchute b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'dala v'zman kari ve'emru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yidromam ve'yitnaseh. V'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yithalal, shmei dekutsha, brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu val kol Yisrael ve'emru. Amen. You may be seated. A schedule of upcoming services. Our weekday prayer services are at 8 a.m. and at 6:45 p.m. Services tomorrow morning will be at 10 a.m. and at 4:45 p.m. Sunday services are at 9:15 a.m. and at 5:30 p.m. There will be 2 opportunities for Torah learning tomorrow morning, both at 9 a.m. You can join a weekly Parsha class that's looking at the weekly biblical portion that's online tomorrow at 9 a.m. And there is a class on prophets, which will be tomorrow, 9 a.m. in the Baum boardroom. And we're starting a brand new book of the prophets. The book isn't new, but it'll be new to us. So you can join me tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., as we start the book of Samuel, and that will be Baum Boardroom tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll conclude tonight our prayer service with Shalom Aleichem on page 16.
And I'd love to call Sonia back up to help lead. Sonia is in a band called Disappear Fear that I've been listening to in my Camp Louise days, and it's just such an honor to have her join me tonight.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi'melech Malkei HaMalkim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi'melech Malkei HaMalkim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Pagudi HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi'melech Malachei HaMalkim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Teichil Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi'melech Malkei HaMalkim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom.
Beautiful.
Oh, my mic off. I always love that. Thank you. I always love We do. We'll find a place. We will. Yeah. My fiance is like a stalker tonight, so it's a quick kind of, traditional one. But yeah, every other Friday, I'm usually like
Carrie,
it out.